Welcome, everybody. It's another exciting edition of the Sports Hole. I'm your host, Luke. With me, as always, XFL Jim, Rock and Roll Matty Goldberg. What's up, boys?
What up, boys?
Sports Hole.
How are we doing today?
Weather's finally nice.
Dude, the weather's been nice, Matty. It's been like 70 here for the last 3-4
Out
days.
here, it's been shitty, and now it's nice.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys
So,
are getting
2-2 on you, buddy. My camera's all fucking fucked,
It's
but
just
good to see you guys.
greasy, Matty. That's all.
I don't know what it is.
It's grease. I think it's okay now.
It's like decent now. Did you
Yeah.
eat anything greasy today?
I always eat greasy food. Not as much, but I don't know. I might have touched it.
Greasy Matty Goldberg. That's your new nickname.
Ooh.
What's up?
Not a Matty. You never wished me happy birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Well, it's too late now.
Happy
wish you
day
happy
after
birthday.
your birthday, Luke.
Thank you,
How
Jim.
you
I
feeling?
appreciate that.
It's a good time to be. This is a pretty decent time to have a birthday.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm not more hungover. I think Dave and Buster's, I was really let down by the strength of their drinks.
They pour them light there.
They do pour them light. The only cool thing is the waitress was giving us basically free shots of Fireball. She kept going, I can't find the Fireball button.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I'm just like pounding Fireball, as is tradition.
As you should. As you
don't
definitely
get
should.
drunk on cinnamon whiskey. What else are you gonna do? So
That-
I was
dude, some
like
of my
pounding gin
worst
and tonics.
hangovers.
Yeah.
Some of my worst
yeah.
hangovers were Fireball hangovers.
Surprisingly, I didn't get too drunk though. So
I can't go to a Dave and well, I could, but the closest Dave and Buster's to me is like 2.5, 3 hours away.
yeah, that's not kind of worth it. You should just go to the bowling alley and hang out in the arcade there. And
There is a bowling alley like 25 minutes away in the next town over that has like it's bowling, laser tag, arcade, mini golf, and I think go-karts.
damn, I want to move in above that complex there.
Oh, and pool hall too. Like that place is cool.
And a glory hole.
And
You
a
probably
glory.
do. It would
Yeah.
not surprise me.
Why not? Cover all your bases.
Cover all your bases.
That's what I'm talking about. What do you guys talk about? What should we hit today? Kind of a weird week in sports. We got a lot of playoff action though.
I know what I was watching.
Dude,
Just getting started on the second round here.
I will be saying that the NBA the playoffs have delivered so many
They have.
great games.
I've even
So
watched
many-
a couple games too.
Yeah. A lot of
So we've
games
had
where teams don't
upsets.
put the other team away. You don't put that team away. You don't put that dagger. They hang out and then they hit the big shot. We've seen about 3 of those games. Denver, the Knicks coming back from 20 the other night. And then last night, the Pacers hung around, and then got the last shot. And
Yeah, they're up 2-0 on the Cavs now, which is pretty surprising. But
They play with the juice. The Pacers
Play
have
with
it,
the
dude.
juice.
They're fun. The Pacers have been fun to watch.
yeah, I think Halliburton was injured a lot of the year, so maybe he's just healthy now.
oh, he's balling, man. He's
Yeah.
playing great.
Yeah,
he's
doing
playing like a
good.
true champion.
So the Nuggets also upset the the Thunder.
I was gonna like I'm a proponent. Like I understand why you foul up 3. I
Yeah,
understand why you do. You gotta let time go off the clock. You can't just like
right.
not let time go off the clock and I'll give him an opportunity. Like Jokic was on the bench.
Yeah,
He's sitting there. I don't know, man. You should know when to foul up 3 and when to play defense.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to put these teams away, especially the vet teams. You let them hang around. You got to put the dagger pretty hard. And Oklahoma City did not put the dagger. And Aaron Gordon has had a great, playoffs. 2 series
he's a great
in a row.
player. I love him. He was
he's
really
been
good in their
getting better and
championship
better.
run. I think he's the second most important guy on that team, even more so than Jamal Murray.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamal Murray's been good, but Aaron Gordon's like really taking that next step, and they really need his help. And
Yeah,
these series have been great. These games have been close. A lot of thrilling games, a lot of underdogs. If you bet, I wonder what if you put $100 money line on all four teams to win the first game of the second round, the underdog, you'd win a pretty penny there.
You probably would. Probably win. I don't know. What were the? Do you have the
Hockey's
odds in
been
front of you,
great
Maddie?
too. I mean, this has been a great, I got two games going at all times on YouTube TV. I'm taking a little break here to hang with you boys, but
Thank you, man. I
I
appreciate that.
lost I lost the Celtics already in the first half.
Who you rooting for in the hockey game tonight?
Uh I love the over of Dallas whatever they're playing.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, lose a peg.
Wow.
I call him lose a
Wow.
peg.
You're
But
not
win
you're
a
not a
peg,
Connor
yeah.
McDavid guy, Maddie?
Well, no, he's on the Oilers, big guy. You don't
Oh,
even
that's
know what
right. I was
team
thinking
he's on.
Edmonton. I got Winnipeg and Edmonton
I
confused.
love Edmonton. Edmonton, I finally think this is the year a Canadian team wins the cup. It's got to happen. It's been like 30 years or so.
That's insane.
Yeah, so I think either Toronto or Oilers. Oilers, like if they get any sort of defense, nobody can beat them. They just have such bad defense. But yesterday, only giving up 2 goals is big for them. And it's been
Yeah.
great, the two series. It sucks for your UFL, but
It does not suck for my UFL. UFL's been electric, Maddie.
well, the ratings I hope have been good, but
They've been fine.
and baseball has been decent, but these two playoffs, like they've been entertaining. There's nothing like watching hockey high at night, like at 10 o'clock at night. You just want these games. I want these games to last forever, ever. I love overtime hockey.
Overtime hockey
Very
is
intense.
one of my favorite things in all of sports. Like I'm a football guy through and through, but overtime hockey, it hits. And it hits hard.
Yes, it does.
Especially if I don't have like a specific rooting interest for either team. It's just pure adrenaline and pure action. I
What
love
was that
it
game
so
the other
much.
night where the guys got the tying goal with like they came back by 2, 3 goals in the
Oh, that
last
was
like
amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
Winnipeg game 7, score a goal 1 second left,
Yes.
and then win in double overtime. Unfortunately, I didn't watch it. I was,
Oh, I watched that one. I did watch.
but
That one was
that's a class.
electric.
I wasn't home, but God, like those are classics. And these playoffs, some years you have duds. I felt like March Madness, even though I love it, not a lot of like buzzer beaters, a couple close games. But these playoffs have been electric, and next year you'll get some duds.
You're getting your May Madness right now, Maddie.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
been mad.
May Madness. And bad news for Warriors fans. Steph Curry out at least a week. Not till game 4 is he expected back, if
They
even
still
that.
can. They can still make it 2-2. I mean, Minnesota was really disappointing. I had a
Yeah.
crazy bet last night. I needed a double double from Anthony Edwards, and he scored 1 point in the first half, and he had like 8 rebounds. So I knew he was going to get the rebounds, and I was so mad. But like, there's something about these veteran teams. They know how to work the young teams. It's
Yeah.
like they just know. They just fucking know.
No, it's that's why it's pretty exciting. That's why these veteran teams don't get too worked up about the regular season because they're like, we'll just
And they
save it.
also know that like if Steph Curry comes back at 2-2, they're gonna find a way to win that series.
Yep. I'm just let Golden State be in it if he comes back. Oh, I've been
Yeah.
watching. I've been loving watching like Steph Curry in the playoffs too, just because I've been trying to appreciate it because I don't know how many more years we got left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back to liking him again. I went loved him, hate him. Now I'm back to liking him again. Especially since they changed those foul rules where you can't just draw these stupid ass fouls by
Yeah, I used to
creating
hate
them.
that when he would shoot the
I
three.
absolutely hated it because I always really liked him, but that just is not in the
He turned
spirit of
into
the
like
game.
Patrick Mahomes, where
Right.
Mahomes now like flops all the time and does a thing where he's gonna go out of bounds. So guys let up and then he runs, which is like,
It's not
Right.
good to
it's really good.
watch.
Yeah.
It's not shit like that. Like I get why like people I've heard like bring it up against like Jalen Brunson, like foul baiting too.
Mm.
Yeah.
And like James Harden obviously was the pro at it. And it's smart move. It's smart. It's smart to do, especially if you're a good free throw shooter. But it just makes it so fucking annoying to watch.
Yeah, it was really bad. I'm glad the NBA kind of closed that loophole on everything. Trade news today in the NFL: George Pickens to the Cowboys,
Yeah,
basically draft picks.
I think what the Steelers are like, this is AB2. part two, and this guy is a lot of bad penalties, a lot of diva, a lot of yelling. Maybe Aaron Rodgers was like, I'm not coming here if I can't deal with a guy like that. I mean, I know Dallas is probably sitting there thinking like, oh my God, we stole this guy because he has great talent, but he's a head case. He's your typical wide receiver diva, and there's a reason why he's being traded.
Well, they had DK Metcalf coming in, so he wasn't going to be
Yeah.
wide receiver number one.
That's true.
Which of course you don't want for a guy that like is going to be the second guy that demands everything go his fucking way all the time.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be wide receiver 2 in Dallas too. That's what's funny about it.
I wonder how it'll play out based on other like wide receivers that the Steelers end up trading away or like Mike Tomlin gets sick of. Because what?
Well, it was hard. Like everybody was like, how did he keep Antonio Brown going for so many years? That's like magical work. And you start to feel it again. And now that they do have DJ Metcalf, you're like, well, of course it helps to have both those guys, but Pickens is a lot. He was a lot last year. He had a lot of penalties from like, doing dumb stuff after the plays. He probably screams he wants the ball. I mean, he's one of those they're wide receiver divas, and they're divas for a reason. It's the diva position. And if you don't have to deal with it, there's a guy by the name of Terrell Owens who is incredible, but a lot of times it was hard to have him on your team. And he's like a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah.
I always love the head case guys. That's what I'm
about.
Cool thing about Terrell Owens is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and then he didn't even attend the Hall of Fame ceremony.
You want him on your team, Jim. Like have fun with him. When he starts screaming, he's not getting the ball now.
No. I love them when they're not on my team, man.
Exactly.
They're very entertaining. Like George Pickens was very entertaining on the Steelers.
I mean, he's talented, but he still hasn't even had a 1,000-yard season.
I mean,
do you think the Steelers are kind of low-key tanking this year?
I feel bad for you.
Who's their quarterback going to be?
Unless it's Rodgers. I don't know. Who else do they
I heard Rodgers is going. I heard he just wanted to wait till the draft. And eventually his diva ass, another diva that they got to deal with.
Yeah.
And he's becoming like too much. The diva only lasts if you can back the talent. And Pittsburgh probably was like, to be receiver number 2, it's probably going to be a massive headache. Let's get him out of here. And people see that with Rodgers now. Like, he's not even worth the thing.
So if they don't get Rodgers, the Steelers quarterback room is Mason Rudolph. They drafted Will Howard, and then they have Skylar Thompson.
That's pretty bad.
It's a murderer's row right there.
Yes.
As someone who has seen a decent amount of Skylar Thompson football, it's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, he was he'll probably get his number retired with the Jets, but yeah. I mean, it's worse than Miami, but Miami isn't so much better. I got to be honest.
Miami's way better, Matt.
And I'll tell you this.
Are you comparing Tua to fucking Mason Rudolph right now?
If he gets one concussion, I mean, you got Zach Wilson and you got what's it called? The guy with all the Quinn Ewers.
Yes, sir.
And also Tyreek Hill's going to be a pain in the ass this year. He's already requesting a trade.
Do you think Tyreek starts the season on the Dolphins?
I do.
Yeah, but I think by week 2 he wants to trade.
You think so?
Yeah, especially if they don't win, and they seem to be regressing and like tail spinning out. And it's again like this guy wanted to be everybody's friend instead of be a football coach.
Matty's anti-Dolphin rhetoric his agenda is very much on display.
I want to root for them.
Big Matty.
Very much.
They got great colors. They have a good fan base. They deserve to win, but like they do dumbass shit.
It's hard.
But
it's like that, like the Dolphins and Jets in that division just keep punching themselves in the nuts while the Bills and the Patriots actually do good things.
Yeah, it just shows like when you have a good system. But like I will say this about the Jets and the Dolphins. They both tried. Like the Jets brought in Aaron Rodgers, they brought in Adams, they brought in, they try. They just fail. It's crazy. And The Dolphins, I feel like, tried too. They brought in Tyreek Hill. They bring in players. It's just something doesn't completely click.
So Steve Smith Senior, we talked about him
Uh-oh.
before, having that affair, um, which is this woman's or having an affair with a married woman, and the husband put him on and her on blast, and releasing those really dirty text messages,
Dirty.
and now he's getting sued under like a home wrecker law or
Is there
something
a home record law?
I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of this before. It's not, very prominent, but he's being sued for $100,000. Um,
That's a weird
So
law.
it has to be
no,
like a
Steve Smith
civil.
is
It's a
married
civil.
too,
It's a
so
civil
Oh,
law
okay.
then.
yeah, it's not. I don't know what. Yeah, civil law is that a? I don't even
I mean,
know.
I hate to
So well,
say,
it's not like you can't get jail time or
Right,
otherwise.
it's
You can't
not
get. Yeah,
criminal, but
yeah.
yeah.
I would assume that 30% of people are having affairs, married people, 20%. I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's a
Did you
shitty part of life. It's a shitty thing, but like to
did you
put
see
it in
the
court is crazy, and
did you
it
see the
takes two
comment,
to
Luke?
tango.
Smith reportedly met the woman while filming an episode of the NFL's Most Interesting Jobs with Steve Smith for the NFL Network.
Well, I guess it's an interesting job.
Yeah.
I love
Maybe he
that.
got an interesting job, no pun intended. But hey, oh,
Got a
hack him.
couple different versions of that.
But like, are we flooding the courts with like
Well,
things
this
that
is civil
happen
law. This is,
every
another
day?
dumb lawsuit
This
bullshit.
is this
I
is
mean,
America, the land of the Sioux, baby.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on. I mean, this is look, part of life is you marry somebody, they fucking do shitty things, like you get a divorce, you move on with your life. I mean, it sucks. I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad for everybody. I feel bad for Steve Smith's family. But to put this in the court system,
I bet Steve Smith's family doesn't care. I doubt this is the first
Yeah.
time this
well,
has happened.
his wife might be sad, but if she gets
She
divorced,
might
she's
not be
probably,
sad. He might, these pro athletes are probably like, look, I want a family, but I really just want to keep humping, and I'm
I know
rich.
some
Do you want
wives
Yep.
too.
do you
They've
want to
been
sign up for
interviewed.
this? Yeah.
Yeah, some of the wives have been interviewed. They're like, we know this. Like, we don't want to know about it, but
Right.
we're well we're well aware of
Yeah.
like we know our husbands can't control themselves. Every city they go to when they're playing, thousands of women are throwing themselves at them. We're kind of aware of the life I'm not
Well, the
saying
women still get a good deal. They get, fancy shit, not,
yeah.
taken care of. They don't have to put out for their husbands when they don't want to because he's got side pieces. So,
Apparently, there are over 200 cases like this filed a year in North Carolina.
really,
Only
Yeah,
200.
in North Carolina,
just
Maddie.
in North Carolina.
That's where this law is like being, uh, like put into place.
Hmm.
I mean, so if you don't get married and let's say it's his girlfriend for 10 years and he does this and there's no case because they're married. It's so crazy.
I'm
I
looking at
know,
other
right?
cases like this. A wife won a $9 million suit against her husband's mistress. Another jury awarded $1.4 million to a former wrestling coach after the coach's wife left him for someone.
$4
Uh,
million
This
dollars?
is all stuff these people will never
1.4, but
see.
someone won nine.
Yeah, that's probably bullshit. Like a
Yeah.
mistress is going to just have 9 million.
Yeah,
That's when these people just file bankruptcy and get out of that law. That debt or that.
Jesus.
Jim's making sure he doesn't wreck any homes in North
Oh, not
Carolina.
No,
North
no
Carolina. I
one.
won't. Jesus.
South Carolina, sure. Virginia, you got it.
Yeah, I just
North
gotta go
Carolina,
around it.
fuck
I
that
guess because
shit.
it's a religious state that adultery is some sort of religious thing, I guess. I
Well,
don't
a
know.
lot of these are old laws that just haven't been repealed, and
Yeah.
some people might still believe in them. I guess if they're
Well, I
filing
guess
200
this
lawsuits a
guy
year,
who's filing against Steve Smith, I mean, he sees a quick
yeah.
couple hundred down. I mean, I'm sure he's in pain and I feel for him, but like she probably wasn't the right gal for you.
The biggest thing for me was that I found out I didn't even realize NFL teams still had marching bands.
I
The
didn't know that either. I
Baltimore
thought like
Colts, yeah, and the
Washington.
Ravens.
I think Washington has always
The
had one.
Ravens have had one for like 40 years, man.
Oh, okay.
Through the Colts and
When
then
they
the
were the
Ravens.
Browns, or you mean?
Colts. No, they were the Colts and then they were the Ravens.
Oh,
And they brought back the marching band from back
okay,
in the
gotcha.
day.
All right, it didn't come from Cleveland. There was a really funny story today. Les Snead, the guy who runs Los Angeles Rams, was talking about their old rivalry with the Seahawks and talking about how when Pete Carroll was coach, somehow the Rams and they would go up to play Seattle, they would be placed in a hotel that was also hosting a furry convention.
Oh,
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So imagine if you're like trying to focus on a game and then there's like people running around in animal suits having sex with each other.
Some of those get like some of those furry conventions get super rowdy. If you get like the really bad furries that like have diaper fetishes and like
are
want to just like poop
furries
and shit.
Is that still
only
part of the Fury? Isn't
sexual?
it furry?
I
Is
mean,
it?
you kind of kick those people out from what I've heard because I know a couple furries.
You
Those people are
do?
very much I do.
Can we get them on the
Uh,
show?
Probably not.
Why
Probably
not?
not. I
They
wish
can be dressed in their furry
that would be
costume.
sick.
So when you go to a furry thing, is it all sexual though, or
No, 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 no. It's not.
you
It is
just
not.
like the
It is not
costume?
all sexual.
You
What
like
what
wearing
is the ethos of a furry
From what
participant?
I've gathered, it's a lot of like escapism. Like they
Okay.
don't like a decent amount of the community is like depressed or something like that. They kind of use it to like escape and have this altered personality where they get to be more out. Like they're a very enclosed person. They're very shy. When they
Okay.
put on the costume, they get to be more
So it's
outgoing.
just an avatar essentially, a live
Basically, yeah,
action
and they call it a
avatar.
fursona.
Right. Okay. It's like a mask. But so it's not particularly
It does
sexual.
not have to be.
It
It
doesn't
very
have to
well
be.
can be. And a lot of people, they could be like
Yeah.
very turned on by like anthropomorphic animals. And
Yeah.
I know some people, like people my age. You watched The Lion King. You saw those two lions. You saw Simba and Nala look at each other. They were giving fuck me eyes. When you
Yeah.
see that in
there
a
you
lion,
go.
it's like, damn, that lion's hot.
There you go.
Yeah,
Fuck
I had
yeah.
my neighbor's cat used to give me those eyes once in a while, and I'm like,
When you have
no
sex and
thanks,
you
but
have it in a costume,
Some people might, yeah.
or
yeah,
do you,
If you have
or
like
do
the
you,
upper part,
or do you take the costume off?
that's a good
I
question,
mean, you
Manny.
should
That I
keep it
don't know.
on.
It's
That's
a
You
a
should.
great
this
fucking
is like
question.
this reminds me of like these Ren fairs where
You know how much some of those costumes cost, by the way?
I'm sure those are really good
Tens of
costumes.
thousands of
Oh,
dollars.
really? That
Yes. I'm gonna look up like specifics, but like they're expensive as dude. Furries got money. They got money.
I should go there and try to sell things to them.
You should.
Yeah. This my buddy goes to Ren fairs and he talks about like normally it's just kind of a funny thing to do, but then you'll see these people dress up in like these S&M type
Yep.
outfits that are
Yeah, I saw
really
that. I remember seeing that at the Red Fair.
doing their like sadosexual things at a fucking Ren fair. Like,
So yeah, the average cost of a good fursuit is $3,000 to $8,000.
holy fuck!
Damn,
I'm in the wrong
I can't
business. I gotta
afford
start
that.
becoming a furry tailor.
I can't afford that.
That or become like I've heard people that draw like porn for furries. They draw like commissions and art and stuff for them.
Okay,
Hundreds of dollars for like just art,
right. Okay,
and they can
Maddie,
pump it
what
out.
would you
Yeah,
be if you were a furry?
I don't know. Because when my nickname is a platypus, I'd be a platypus furry, but
that'd be a
that,
cool one. That sounds unique. I think
That
That'd have
also
to
sounds
be
like a gay term, by the way.
too
that'd
many
have to be
people
a
are like
Otter is a gay term.
wolves and foxes and shit.
that'd
There's
have to
too
be
many
a
of those.
custom made, but I never thought about it. But that's a great question.
Jim, what do you?
I'd be a fucking falcon.
Yeah.
Really?
I get like talons. I get like things for my feet so I can scratch people. I get the wings.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like how you just came in
Scratch.
aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
scratch
be
'em up, baby.
screeching all over the place.
Yeah.
Hurt people.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah. What would you be, Luke?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Well, let me circle back to that.
When is the next flurry furry
Flurry.
convention?
It
I don't
depends
know,
on
but they're
depends on
probably all
where.
over the
Probably.
country.
I was gonna say there's definitely all
one
over.
that just happened in Seattle. So he said that happened like 2 years in a row too.
Nice.
Really funny. Um, So, sad news in basketball. Greg Popovich, all done coaching the
Yeah,
Spurs. One of the greatest, if not the greatest head coach there's ever been
yeah.
in NBA.
Oh yeah,
Had a debilitating stroke earlier this year, never quite fully recovered, and decided just to move to the front office full time and pass the reins to another
How old
coach.
is he?
74.
that's
He's
that's
looking
pretty
old.
good.
He's old, and this like you could see like in
Yeah,
that
you can
press
tell.
conference, he was not moving well. He wasn't speaking
No.
well. It's very
Why doesn't
sad
he
to
just
see.
retire altogether? I mean, he's had an amazing career. Just rest, but I guess
Well,
some
if you're
people
already
don't like to
coaching at
rest.
74, it's like that's
Some
your
people
thing.
don't like to
Yeah.
rest, you know?
No, you don't. And I mean, he had Wembanyama coming up, so you figure if you could coach another couple of years, there's a good chance you could get a championship if
Sure.
you can build that team out.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was always in the back of his mind. I'm sure if he didn't have Wemby, that he probably would have retired last year.
Probably.
Because otherwise, you're just sort of making a middle team that's going to be a much bigger project. But kudos to Pops, even though he's probably beat all of
Legend
our
of the
favorite
game.
teams,
No doubt about it.
and definitely a legend. And he will be missed from the sport.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker won't be missed, though.
Well,
Ravens
football reasons. Football reasons.
finally releasing him for football reasons. It's pretty funny they do that and waited in this era where it's like
Yeah.
teams got to get ahead of this shit and pretend they're good guys and get rid of
Mm.
people for
Well, you
these.
kind of saw they drafted a kicker,
Well,
and I
Matty's one of
think,
the best. Why would they get rid of him for football reasons? He's one of the best kickers of all time. I don't
well, I
Right.
understand why
think
they would do this.
yeah. Well, also the truth is distractions a million. Like every story will be interviewed about him. First interview will always be about him. So it's like you got to just move on. And I mean, it's kind of crazy because on the field, he's a top three kicker of all time. Pretty fucked up dude. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's just you know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's just funny. Everybody's bagging on the Ravens though for kind of slow balling this thing. Um, they probably knew they were going to draft a kicker anyways. They should have done this a while ago,
Yeah,
especially with his declining ability on the field.
yeah, he had a really
Yeah.
bad year last year, and I always felt like he kind of knew this was coming out, and I think psychologically, look at Deshaun Watson psychologically with him on the field, like it's so hard to focus after that, and it just becomes too much, and I wonder if another team will take him.
I was gonna say, are you the Browns would be like poetic if the Browns
I
took
mean,
him.
I would imagine if somebody
It'd be
like
amazing.
what will happen, and I know this will be a really tough decision for a team, but if it's like week 10 and their kicker gets hurt, or a contending team as a kicker,
Oh yeah.
and this happens a lot, who starts misses like 5 out of 6 kicks, and you got to cut a guy, like there's got to be a temptation, and
Well, if he can settle all of his bullshit before
well,
that,
I don't know
then
what you settle. It's like
well, they're just lawsuits. I don't think there's anything
sure,
Yeah, there's
criminal.
just allegations actually.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing's even gone to court
Well,
yet.
what would you guys think? Would you guys want him on your team, or would you feel weird about it? I don't know.
I would not want him on my team. No.
I would not want him on my team, but also it's the NFL, and the NFL like doesn't really punish scumbags.
No.
So whatever.
Yeah, it's just funny, and then it's like this is the clear one where it's like not talented enough to overcome this. Like, but I hopefully the NFL sees that this shit. Like, if you're involved in this shit, you're probably not going to be very productive, anyways.
Yeah.
So
They've
just
learned that with Deshaun Watson.
yeah, and it's just weird. I don't understand these guys. Like these two, like I don't know what this fucking fetish is because you can go to parlors that are designated
I
for.
think it's like a thing of like, if you know like it's okay in a parlor, what's the point? I guess. I don't know.
I think Maddie's
Yeah.
onto something. I think the fact that it's wrong is like the
Is
bigger part
the
of the
It's a
tournament.
excitement.
power
Yeah.
move, like
Yeah.
kind
The
of thing.
excitement that's very wrong is kind of
Right.
Yeah, the fact
relevant.
that it's something that you shouldn't be doing
It's
is
like, do
the
I get
turn
a
on.
hooker or can I make the girl next door do this?
I mean, it is weird. He also is like supposedly a very religious guy on top of it.
Oh God, yeah, no
which
religious
doesn't
guy
really,
has ever done anything wrong.
of course, but
God, that's
it's
just
just,
the fucking weakest veil people can wear too.
yeah,
Fucking terrible. But hopefully he's gone, and maybe we'll see him with the uh,
UFL.
I was gonna say maybe
UFL.
we'll see him with the Memphis Showboats next year.
Yeah. But I think he seems like he wants to play. That's the crazy thing. Like usually if you're in shame, you might say like, "Hey, like I got to get my life in order." Like go the Joe Gatto route of Impractical Jokers where he's just like, "I'm going to get treatment." And because he did that, I don't know how shitty of the things Joe Gatto did, but at least that he did that and he's making some sort of contrition to be
Wait, were
better.
there allegations against that guy?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, he just
Oh, I
got
talked
never.
busted.
about we talked about it like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, he got busted for being like very inappropriate with a bunch of women.
Okay, all right.
And he went
One of
into
them
like,
allegedly was like just turned 18 or something too.
Oh boy, yeah.
so, he's like, I'm getting help, and that might help him like in a year or
Well,
two.
that to me is like the human thing to do. Like,
Yeah,
I was wrong. You can do
Yep.
you can handle a couple ways. You
sure.
go, I was wrong. I don't know
Yeah,
why I feel compelled to do this. Let me get some help. Or you
exactly.
can just keep denying and say, no, I just want to play. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
Well, that's the thing. Like Joe Gatto might get a second chance in life and comedy, and because if he goes away for a couple years, it will help him. But like, I think people want to see that. I think. I mean, there'll always people who will hate him, but then there'll be people who are like, hey, man, he was a bad guy. He fucked up. He got help. He got treatment. This is like a power thing where you can get treatment. And
yeah,
Oh, he was getting
and
treatment all right.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, there's ways to do this. And like, I get it with an athlete, you only have so many years, but if there's like smoke, there's fire. If there's like 10 people accusing you, they're not
yeah,
all like a conspiracy. These places didn't all get together and were like, hey, let's go after one of the greatest kickers of all time. Who's I never, like I always thought Justin was a good part of the community. He always seemed like a very likable guy.
sure. Like, and a lot of people can, it's like, I think we talked about this the other day with, Deshaun Watson, like Louis C.K. He
Yeah,
would like he actually did a lot for female comics too.
sure.
Like he would produce Tig Notaro's show and I
Yeah.
think Pamela Alden's show and really help women with their careers. And it was now you're like, was he doing that out of the goodness of his heart, or was he just trying to look like an ally when he was really being a
I
creep?
think it can be both. I just think he had a sickness of like a fetish that is really wrong. And he also wanted to help out people he thought were funny.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he was like, let me get in with Tig Notaro, or I don't think he even ever cared about like what his reputation was aside from being like, a creep of some sort.
Right.
So yeah, and I
I mean,
mean
and they
like,
were they were
yeah.
good shows too that he
Yeah, I
produced.
mean,
So it wasn't
people love
like
the Louis C.K.
it was
show. Like
charity.
he was a darling of the left, and he was a darling of everybody. And you know,
Yeah. It's it's yeah. I don't know.
I have a football update that happened
yeah,
today.
Oh,
it's a-
For those of you who might remember, Last Chance U, Malik
yeah.
Henry, just today signed with the Arena Football League's or AF1 Billings Outlaws.
I just saw a video about him.
He's playing.
I
He's
never
playing for the
watched that
Billings
Last
Outlaws
Chance
now,
U.
baby.
I
What was
just saw a
that?
video about how he squandered his whole career, and like it was like
Oh
he was
man, he's playing for Billings. That's like a top team in the league.
okay. Well, so did Kurt
Is
Warner,
that
so you never know.
Montana?
No, Billings. Actually, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Kurt
is Montana.
Warner. Kurt
They
Warner
played
was
the
in the
championship game last year. Damn it!
yeah. So Malik Henry was at Florida State and never really put it together. 5-star recruit. So many stories like this, you know?
Yeah. Uh, and then what position does he play?
He's quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
He is a quarterback, dude. He was I remember he was like he jumped to an arena like an IFL team when he got out of college,
hmm
and then some other teams. He was in CFL for like a practice squad session, got dropped, and then he was in the IFL. Now he's on AF1.
Hmm. All right. Well, good luck to
Go Malik.
Go Malik. We're rooting for you, buddy.
Making all of I don't know what the arena league
It
guys
seems
make,
like
like
this is his last
$15,000.
opportunity to play, organized football.
That's usually how these arena leagues go, Maddie. It's usually their last show. He's only
It,
26. What the hell?
it reminds me of what's his face, Tate Martell. Like,
There's no shot he's only 26.
hey,
What the fuck?
yeah, because you remember him when he was 18, coming out of high school. It's been a long time. It's been 8 years.
God damn. He's been playing. He's been playing in the pro since like 21.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell, dude?
I got some. Did you guys see this video of? There was a. I don't know what league this is. I think it was a college team. This batter hits a home run off of a pitcher, and as he's like rounding third, the pitcher just takes off, charges him Goldberg style, and just spears.
Is this high school baseball?
I think this is like some small college.
Yeah, it's like North Central and Weatherford. So
Never heard of either one.
it was really funny. And then there was another.
Is the ump yelling at the guy too for showboating? That's a sick spear. That's a sick spear.
It
Watch
was
that
really
again.
good. Yeah, yeah. I don't
Oh,
think what was the showboating? Was he talking shit or something?
he might have been talking shit, but
Yeah,
the ump
because I
was
didn't
talking
see
at him
the
too.
but, oh man, that dude should be playing inside linebacker. Holy shit!
Like you saw, like you could see the second base ump talk to him.
Yeah, boy. So maybe I'm on the pitcher's side now. If that guy was talking some bad shit, there was
I'm on the pitcher side because that spear was excellent.
yeah, just that form, brother.
There's been some wild ones. Like there was a guy, the Red Sox had a guy. I think his name was Izzy Alcantara. He got demoted to AAA. He like Shawn Michaels kicked a pitcher. Like he literally super kicked a fucking pitcher.
It's a Texas community college, is Weatherford.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it must be some like small Texas like
those
league or
Texas
something.
community colleges. Look out, baby.
Also, look out if you're at PNC Park rooting on the Pirates because they have an usher there that will whip you with a belt.
Well, also you have an update on the guy who fell from the bleachers.
Oh, he's okay. I think he just took his first steps today.
Well, I don't know if that's okay.
I mean, he's probably pretty embarrassed about
It's like he's
falling.
drinking out of a straw. He's eating solid foods today, like 2 weeks later.
Well,
Like
he's
okay is like me, you, and Jim's not.
How did he fall? Do we know? He just.
I think he was just super drunk.
I always
He
fear
was
that
drunk.
shit.
He
And
was
you always
super
think
drunk.
it would happen more often because those railings are not high and people
Yeah,
are
it
leaning
doesn't.
over to grab home runs
Yep.
and all that shit too. And
I mean,
you're
it
like
happens
half
from
the time
time
you're
to
fucking
time.
wasted when you're at those games.
It does happen from time to time.
Yeah, that dude just like boom, end over end. So at PNC Park though, this was a really good fight
I'm
between a
watching it right
fan
now.
and an usher, and this usher's like unloading shots at this guy, just punching him in the face several times. The guy's taking the punches pretty good. Then he gets ready to square up with the guy
Yep.
properly. This guy, and then the usher takes off his belt and just starts whipping him.
Well, the guy spat on him like twice.
He
Like,
did get a bloody
yeah,
mouth from the punches too.
Why
Yeah,
is the
he's
world so violent? Like baseball is about apple pie and baseball and
Cracker
children and
Jacks.
autographs and Cracker Jacks. We got guys falling out of the stands. You got ushers whipping people.
Well,
Like just
I mean, I'm on the usher side here 100%.
Yeah, I
You know,
don't know what led up to was what the original argument was, but yeah, he's spitting at him before he pulls out the belt.
The guy, not the usher, but the guy was apparently like harassing some female like patrons.
Oh,
He was harassing
okay.
some women, like yelling at him. So then the usher gets involved.
Right, the usher was doing the proper thing.
Yeah.
Intervening.
And then it
And then
just kind
does
of
the proper
escalated from
thing
there.
and whips him. like he's a 10-year-old boy.
I loved it. Once you see the belt come out, I love it.
I bet this guy's like from some foreign country because that is some old school shit right there. I've never seen anybody take a belt out during a
Well,
pay-per-view.
I have a friend who I play poker with, who's a degenerate, who lives up north, and he got arrested at the Giants Stadium, San Francisco. He started taking his belt off and fighting people outside with it. So it does happen. Guys now take their belt off and start, that's part of
I'm
like
gonna
a
start wearing one of
thing.
those diamond-studded belts so I can really, or like a, Forever 21 goth belt with the
Mhm.
metal studs on it, so we
Yeah,
can
Ooh,
really
that
fuck
one
some
would be
people
good.
up.
little Fallout Boy
I
going.
might need to have to
Yeah,
start wearing that at work if people start getting lippy with me.
dude, do it. What's
Little
stopping you?
taking back Sunday.
Sad news: Utah Hockey Club is now the Mammoth.
I like that name.
You like the Mammoth?
I
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna
hate
look
it.
up.
It's kind of fun,
Why
but
don't
I
you
just
like?
still wanted somebody to be the club.
I know. I liked.
Washington
I wished it was
Commanders
Washington.
had their chance. You know,
I want someone to just be the team.
I'm looking
right?
up the logo,
Team.
see if they have cool shirts. They do not. It's not that good. I don't like
The name is sick, but the logo and stuff isn't that great,
the
Matty.
logo's weak. The logo is really weak.
They're no
Yeah, I don't like the colors.
they're no Kraken.
I don't like the
Yeah, I
colors.
knew. See, this is like when you have these shitty vector. I don't know. I don't like this modern vector label. I like
1000%.
logos. I like more of a hand drawn
Listen,
look.
you get the logo wrong, you get it wrong. I'll never forget the Islanders growing up in New York in the 90s. They went from the classic Islanders to the Gordon's Fishermen. Look up the Islanders Gordon's Fishermen. It was the biggest blunder of all time.
Were they just sponsored by Gordon's, or was the owner
No,
Gordon?
but just Google Islanders Gordon's Fishermen.
All right.
It
I would have.
lasted it
I would have.
lasted like a year.
I
You
would have
see it?
loved if the mammoth logo
Matty,
was a.
Yeah.
I love it.
Isn't it cool though?
I love it. That is sick.
It was so hated. It was so hated and such a disaster. But it hurt him for a
When was
while.
this?
About in the 90s, in 95, they changed their logo to the Gordon's
Oh,
Fishermen.
I thought you said. I thought you meant they changed their team name.
Dude, their jerseys are $1,500. That's crazy.
No,
I
those are
like
sick.
this. This looks like
I love that.
some guy Billy Joel would sing a song
Are you
about.
saying
Right?
that, Matty? Are you saying
know?
this was in the 90s?
Yeah, so
Dude, 90s logos that like professional sports teams logos in the 90s were the sickest.
people hated it.
I'm not a
Hated
fan
it.
of those 90s logos, I'll tell you that much. I think again, if you smoothed it out a little bit, put a little texture on that, maybe we
I
got
don't know, dude.
something.
I think the Raptors had like the sickest logo in the 90s.
I
That
need
was their
Jalen
best one.
Brunson to hit 2 threes in the fourth quarter, and I win a big parlay thingy.
I feel like the Raptors have like one of the biggest downgrades in professional sports.
I like
logo
the
history.
Memphis Grizzlies. I like the Vancouver Grizzlies. I'm trying to think of a logo that they changed that I liked.
What if the mammoth logo was a cave drawing?
That'd be so much. It
That'd be
just
cooler.
seems so generic.
Yeah,
It seems like they got some art school kid to
that's
do
exactly what it looks like. There's not much to it. You just
Yeah.
pull out Adobe Illustrator and go to town, and that's it. Fun.
Like
Sad news.
sometimes, yeah, sorry.
Sad news. Cam Rising retiring.
I thought he has 15 more years of eligibility.
That's what we all
He did
thought.
have one more. He could have played this year if he wanted to.
He is 25 years old right now, too.
He can go right into coaching.
And go right into insurance salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he apparently
What
his
was the
hand
reason?
injury never fully
Concussions?
recovered. So
That checks out.
Yeah, he's just too many injuries.
he might
Fun
have
player,
he would
though.
have been
Very
like the oldest dude, that didn't go play baseball first.
really
or
fun
something.
player.
He was
He
fun.
was-
He is cool.
He was fun 3 years
He
ago.
just made the announcement by going Bad Moon out too.
Mhm.
Bad Moon Rising, that's a fucking sick name.
It's a sad day when we
And,
can't be like, where's Cam Rising?
I-
One more year. Lace him up.
Got no Triple Crown winner this year as Sovereignty skips the Preakness.
Kentucky Derby was fun.
Did they say why? Did they give a reason why?
Who did your
Sovereignty was
boy
not?
have? The guy that hates
Personal reasons for the horse.
XFL Jim. Who did he? Yeah, he jacked on a couple massage women.
Yeah, the women that were massaging him after the races.
He got a little.
Asked him for a little
who did
bit.
the guy that hates me vote for?
Maddie, nobody hates you.
Oaklawn.
He does not hate you.
Don't
I
ruin Maddie's
he was
fantasy, okay?
I saw he was on the sports gambling podcast.
Yeah, he was on the ones I remember. He was on.
There are a lot of people are on Sovereignty.
He was on Render Judgment.
Kids, just so you know, it's been about 8 years since the favorite has won.
And he was on. Forget who else. I know he was on Render Judgment.
I like that. Sounds like a good metal band name.
Yeah,
I had a lot on Burnham.
I think he was also on American Promise, but I don't remember for sure.
It's crazy. The third horse was a replacement. Like horses got scratched. And
he was on Baeza too. Sorry,
everybody loved Baeza.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to bring horses back, and I like that they're not because.
What do you mean you like that they're not?
Well, if the horse is not up to it, then the horse is not up to it. If
that horse is a bitch.
Yeah, it's like Tyreek Hill wants to get traded.
Tyreek's a bitch if he gets traded. That horse is a bitch.
Needs seeking mental health issues.
I feel like they barely race horses anymore. Like, how many races do these guys even get?
It's not healthy for these guys. There was a show on Showtime called Luck. Dustin Hoffman was in it. It ran 1 year because they had to shut it down because like 8 horses died during filming. It's dangerous.
Yeah, well, 1 year a few years back out here, I think like 6 or 7 horses.
I remember that. I remember at Santa Anita.
Yeah. Jim, did you ever go to Santa Anita?
I did.
That is a beauty of a track.
What a dumb question.
Beautiful.
You're asking if Jim went to a horse race? He lived in LA. You don't think he went to the horse track here?
No, that was a great day. My buddy Pat and I went there, and then there was a Dave and Buster's like across the street. So then we closed out.
Yeah, it was fun. I've been there one time. I had a blast. I went there maybe like 12 years ago.
Matt, you want to like know something? As long as I lived there, I didn't really get into gambling until like 2018, 2019.
What were you into?
I was into like just watching football.
Okay.
Watching sports. Like I didn't start gambling until like 2015, 2016.
When I'm gonna act like your therapist, when did your love of shitty football come? Like alternative football?
Matty just doesn't appreciate the bones of football. Matty's the kind of guy that would like blow up the Mac if he could.
I love Tom Brady. If you go to Americans, you go name one football player. They go Tom Brady, and that's the guy I love the most. It just shows you my football.
Casual. You're just casual.
Exactly.
Matty would blow up the Mac if he could.
That Tom Brady movie would great with those old ladies who go to see the Patriots. That's the best movie probably in the last 150 years.
Since the second Godfather, I think.
Yeah.
80 for Brady.
Better than Citizen Kane.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's head on.
Oh yeah.
The Dark Side.
Dark Side of the Ring. Hot stuff.
Hot.
Eddie Gilbert.
I just want to start by saying any of like those old school wrestlers who have hot in the name, I'm usually like a fan of.
It's pretty cool. He was a good heel.
You know something? This one is interesting because like I know all these guys in this era. This is the one guy I never knew.
Well, because he didn't stay with any major promotion.
Because I knew Ludwig Borga. I remember him. I remember all these guys that Jim doesn't know. But this guy never crossed my path.
No, Ludwig Borga. No, this guy was early. He wrestled under Vince Sr. at WWE.
Yeah, but he was around for the beginning of ECW.
Oh, you like the very beginning though. Man.
He was
like that's when it was still Eastern Championship wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they talked about, and we'll get to that in a bit, but like mostly it was his sort of.
But it was cool to learn about it. But what a disaster this guy is.
Yeah.
So he comes from a wrestling family in Memphis, and his dad was a big wrestler, Tommy Gilbert, and they actually wrestled together. That was very cool, like LeBron and
Mm,
Bronny.
yeah,
Um, except Eddie probably deserved to be there. They
yeah.
became tag team champions together. A little bit later on, he gets into a great match in Tupelo where they end up fighting out into the concession stands and all throughout the arena. And this was basically what a lot of people point to as the, first hardcore wrestling match. And this was what, I forget the Japanese gentleman's name that made it big in Japan. But he saw this match and that's what he ran with. And that is truly what made hardcore pop. Gets called up to the WWE, wrestles at MSG, and I think it was like the same night he's going to meet with Vince Sr. after the matches, and he gets into a terrible car wreck and breaks his neck. He's told he can't wrestle again. Boom, fucker's back in 3 months.
DDP yoga.
That's right. That's what he was doing. That's what he credits. DDP yoga for his
It's
fast
wild.
recovery.
It's the same thing as Brian Pillman. Like, probably shouldn't have been back. Come back way too soon.
Well, also his name wasn't Pillman, but he was living up to that.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, because right after that, then he's in WWE, so he meets our favorite doctor, Dr. Zahorian.
I love Zakorian.
Yeah, gets him
He's
gets
on
him
the bingo. He's on the dark side of the ring bingo card.
Do you think Armenians are upset that he's disparaging their
Terrible name to
country?
the tribe.
Yeah. So he
Wait,
gets the pain pills from Mr. Dr. Zahorian. And this at this time, this is when WWE was starting that big steroids era where it was just all these guys look like muscle bound
can I say one
superheroes.
more thing about Dr. Zahorian?
Please.
You got to give it for him, though, because not only did he supply these wrestlers with drugs, not only was he a real doctor, but he also played one on the show. I
What
mean,
was
they're
he on
like,
the show too?
yes,
I thought just that French guy was.
no, they used him.
Did they? I don't
Yeah,
remember. That's funny. Did he
he
play
played
an evil
himself.
doctor too?
He played himself.
Oh, that's great.
That's beautiful.
Um, so yeah, he decides to Eddie Gilbert or yeah, he decides to leave the WWE because it was just getting kind of cartoonish at that point with the 80s steroid era in full effect. Goes uh, goes back to the South, goes back to the territories, and gets a lot of heat and becomes a booker. So this is what he really wanted to do: was become a booker. Like he was a real creative guy, and he
Yeah.
loved the process of being the booker. Um, he was in Crockett Wrestling that got absorbed into WCW. So now he's part of a booking committee that is run by Ric Flair, basically changes the outcome of his own match, which causes him to clash with Flair. He leaves WCW, returns to
Never fuck
Memphis.
with Flair,
Don't fuck with Flair.
especially in his prime.
Do not do that. Jim, don't fuck with Flair.
I've learned that through like every piece of wrestling media I've consumed that
Yes.
has Ric Flair involved in it. Just don't fuck with him.
Yeah. If he wants to twirl his penis at you,
Just
guess
let it
what?
happen.
You're going to let there and take him, let him do his helicopter thing for you. So he leaves WCW, returns to Memphis as a heel and a booker, and he's thriving again. Creates intense stunts, including hitting Jerry Lawler with a car on TV, which was fucking great. And it was way too, they were going too fast and it really fucked up
Yeah,
Lawler a
it did
little
look
bit.
pretty good.
It looked great, and so much so where people were calling the cops on him.
Yeah.
Those are some of my
Love
favorite
that.
stories is when these people are, uh, people call the cops because the shit looks so real. Um, then, of course, he keeps bouncing around territories. He marries Missy Hyatt,
Hmm.
the first lady of wrestling, who
Very
also
pretty girl.
who also dated David Faustino, Bud Bundy.
I love Bud Bundy. I love they always bring it back on Entourage as like the rival of Johnny Drama. Like you're gonna play the guy that's so pathetic that you're the washed up equivalent of this washed up guy. You have to lean into it.
His marriage to Missy Hyatt doesn't last long, gets divorced, and then he's marrying Medusa, hot female wrestler.
Who doesn't look like the real Medusa.
No, not at all. But then the painkillers really start to take over him, becomes like a totally different person, divorces Medusa just so she can move on with her life. Heads to ECW, Eastern Championship Wrestling at the time.
Mhm.
And basically, he's also a mentor to Paul Heyman. They were like best friends.
Yeah.
And he helps basically create what ECW would become when Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Mhm.
Um, and I forgot what the beef was, but he ends up quitting before a major show. Who was the guy that was running?
Oh, Todd Gordon owned
Yeah,
it.
Todd Gordon. He quits before a show, and then he apologizes and wants to come back and do the show. Gordon's like, I can't. I had to replace you.
Yeah.
Well, can I come back and just say goodbye to everybody? Yeah, sure. Then he just totally interrupts the show and grabs a microphone and goes on this way too long rant until they had to like cut off the
Cut the mic.
microphone. Paul Heyman was pissed.
Sure.
They never spoke again. His career in the States is pretty much over. Goes to he does this thing. He does the first shoot interview too, where he just talks
Yeah.
about the
He
real
invented
life
it.
happenings behind the scenes.
And now everybody does it.
Now everybody does.
Yep.
It's the whole genesis of everybody's wrestling
The
podcast
show.
nowadays.
The show is a shoot. By the way,
Yeah.
though, what I will say about there seems to be this trend of him having falling out with people that he was loyal to or he showed the ropes to and they betrayed him. But the truth of the matter is, I get where he's coming from. But at the same time, like all these guys are working their way up in their careers,
Yeah.
and he made so many mistakes. Like people have to move on, and you fuck up, you have to deal with it. Well, like
Yeah.
it's like he's fucking up, and then asking people to accept him because he's been a good guy or whatever. But this is business, and he doesn't really understand that.
Yeah. In any industry, you have to play the game a little bit,
Yeah.
and you can move teams or move territories or whatever, but at some point, you're going to have to compromise and
And if
do
someone
stuff you
can
don't
get your
necessarily want to
yeah,
do to
if
make a
somebody
living.
can if someone can get your spot, like if Paulie Heyman can get your spot, and he's worked all these years, and Todd Gordon's like, hey, will you run ECW because Eddie Gilbert's unhinged? What do you think he's gonna do? Of course he's gonna take it. And I don't
But,
blame him.
uh,
And it's like you fucked up, you quit, you show up fucked up a lot. You know what I mean?
He
no.
hurt himself more than anything.
Yeah,
It
it's just
seems
some
that way.
people we see this in sports all the time too. Some people are
Self-sabotage.
fucking great, but they just can't get out of the way of themselves.
Yep.
Exactly.
They got something else going on in their mind that is not meeting reality's expectations, so they just keep burning bridges and doing
We
dumb
see it in
shit.
music, entertainment, life, friends,
Yeah.
All over.
jobs. I mean, I feel for the guy. He obviously had it really tough, but like some of the people he feels betrayed by, they're just moving on with their lives and they have to.
Yeah, absolutely. So then he goes to Puerto Rico, where he was getting a chance to be a booker there and do what he loves. And unfortunately, there he dies of a heart attack. And that was it.
Heart
Some
attack's
say
like the number
drugs.
one killer of these guys, right? Easily.
Well, it's drugs,
Yeah,
all
but
the
like
steroids.
drug induced it's heart
Yes.
attack.
Well,
that
they were
does it.
trying to like go, no, everybody assumes it's drugs, but he just had a bad heart because of the car crash. But, pills do not do your organs any favors. I know that much.
I got great news. I just got a reel from Bluto Mars on Instagram. The Wing King of
Oh,
Massachusetts.
Oh,
Oh,
our old.
I have him on mute because he was sending like
That's not
40
his name.
reels.
That was his dog's name.
I know, but he sends like 40 reels a day. I just can't handle it.
He's still sending those to you?
Oh yeah.
Jim, we're talking about our former
He remembers him.
I
our,
remember.
our food eating competition guy.
But this one was good. It wasn't like I think I didn't have like that much of investment because I didn't really know him well. But it was a good one. I'm looking forward to next week is Billy Jack Haynes, who I know very well, who the WWF tried to make as a good guy in like the 80s, but you could just tell he wasn't a good person, you know?
Yeah. Rusty texted me today and was like, I'm looking forward to that Billy Jack Haynes one.
Well, he was kind of cool because he had like tattoos, like in the
Yeah.
80s when nobody had tattoos. He was like from Oregon. He always wore the green and yellow trunks to like
Yeah,
rep.
if you had tattoos and you were not, and they didn't come from like the Navy back in the 80s, you might have had a
Well, I
checkered
think he was
past.
in the military, from what I hear.
Well,
But
you get, okay, back in those days, you get that one anchor from the
yeah,
Navy or something, or you get your one military tattoo, but you don't get any more, you know, just the
yeah.
one that
So
showed you served your country.
looking forward to that one, and
It's gonna be
you know, they
fun. Is that gonna
really
be the last one of the season? Do we know?
this was a fast season.
This one has kind of like just breezed
I
by.
don't know. Maybe there's gonna be more, but
I think they do like six. They take a month or two off, and then
oh, that's right. That's what happened
Yeah, they
last
do like
year.
2 seasons a year.
I wonder who like I'd like to see. It almost seems like they're running out of people, but I'm sure they have thousands of more to do. Like Louis Spicoli would be a good one. They did Sonny already. I don't
Jim, have
know.
you been writing Sonny in prison?
Yeah.
I've been every day, every day.
Does she send you like any underwear in the mail?
He says he'd still do Sonny now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would.
Crazy.
why not?
I
Oh
don't
my
think I'm crazy.
God.
I think you're crazy, Maddie.
Well, I am that I am.
Oh, the Knicks are coming back too. They
I
were
know.
down
I'm
by
gonna watch
like
the end
They're
of
doing it
this.
14.
again.
I need one more Brunson 3-pointer and I win this
Well,
fucking
you
bet.
might get it because he's gonna be forced to be taking them. So
I hope so. One more, baby. It was
Jalen
three
Johnson.
3-pointers, 6 assists. He's got the assist.
Now we'll see. That'd be interesting. It'd be real interesting if Boston went down 2-0. That would
Well,
be.
these teams don't put these teams away. It's like this is the MO of the playoffs. It's like they hang around, and then it gets very interesting at the end.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fantastic endings in the playoffs.
You got to put the
Sure.
dagger in these teams.
Damn right.
All right, boys. Anything to add before we get out of here?
Watch
Nope.
the UFL. It's electric. Bryce Perkins got up to number 5 on Twitter trending last
All
There
night.
you
right.
go.
It's awesome. It's a great time to be in the league. Playoff race heating up.
Sports hole.
Sports Hole. All right,
Sports
guys. We'll see you all
Hole.
next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for another exciting edition of the Sports Hole. Bye bye.
Bye bye.